From broke to millions, this is the shocking story of how CZ built his empire. Starting with nothing and grinding through minimum wage jobs just to get by, CZ would eventually rise to become one of the most influential figures in crypto history. This is how he transformed a life of struggle into a billionaire legacy. We dug through Medium, CoinDesk, and TechCrunch to uncover CZ's rough beginnings, his high-risk Bitcoin bet, the meteoric growth of Binance, and the massive revenue engines behind it all. Don't miss the ending, where we reveal the powerhouse strategy that propelled CZ onto the world stage. Changpeng Zhao, known today simply as CZ, never imagined that the life he was about to live would begin with losing everything. He was born in Jiangsu, China, long before the world would associate his name with crypto empires and billion-dollar valuations. His early years were shaped not by opportunity, but by uncertainty. His family lived under a cloud of political tension, the kind that didn't just whisper about danger, it rearranged lives. When pressure mounted against intellectuals and those considered politically undesirable, the Zhaos were forced to make a decision no family wants to face. Stay and face tightening restrictions, or leave behind everything they knew for a chance at freedom. They chose to leave. The Zhaos arrived in Canada with almost no money, no network, and no guarantee that life would be any easier. They landed in Vancouver, a city that felt cold, not just because of the climate, but because they were starting from zero. His parents, formerly respected educators in China, suddenly found themselves taking whatever work they could find. His father washed dishes, his mother stitched together part-time jobs just to keep the family afloat. Their qualifications didn't matter. Survival did. He saw this every day. He watched the gap between what his parents deserved and what they received. And even as a young teenager, he understood one thing with striking clarity. Money is freedom. Money meant choices. Money meant safety. Money meant his family would never be powerless again. So he worked. He flipped burgers at McDonald's, the grease popping against his arms as he rushed through lunchtime rushes. It wasn't glamorous, but it was money, and that mattered more than anything. When most kids his age were relaxing after school, he was clocking in. And when his classmates went to sleep, he headed to the gas station for night shifts, scanning inventory under fluorescent lights that hummed louder as the hours dragged on. These early jobs didn't just give him a paycheck, they hardened him, trained him, and taught him to run on discipline and determination. Each shift made him hungrier for a future where his time belonged to him, not to the schedule of a minimum wage employer. And then, when life still looked like an endless cycle of work and worry, a single book changed his life. What he found in those pages didn't just inspire him, it redirected his entire future. It planted the idea that technology, systems, and innovation could rewrite a person's destiny, even one that began in a foreign country with empty pockets. This was the moment that lit the fuse. Keep watching for the beginning of everything CZ would become. It started with a spark so small CZ didn't realize it would burn down everything he thought he knew about his future. After years of grinding through low-wage jobs, he was desperate for a path, something that offered more than survival. That's when he stumbled into the world of technology and programming. At first, it was just curiosity. He would flip through books about computer science, trace lines of code with his finger, and try to understand how machines could follow instructions with perfect precision. But curiosity quickly turned into obsession. The deeper he went, the clearer it became that technology wasn't just a tool, it was a gateway to opportunity. Then another piece clicked into place. Finance. Charts, numbers, systems, markets. He loved all of it. Finance wasn't chaotic to him. It was a puzzle with a hidden logic. And software, that was the key to unlocking it. So he merged his two new obsessions and stepped into the trading world. It didn't take long before people realized he had a rare blend of talent, a mind for algorithms, and a feel for markets. That talent brought him across the world to Japan, where he became a coder at the Tokyo Stock Exchange. His job wasn't glamorous, but it was foundational. He built systems that moved millions, sometimes billions of dollars. He saw how trades were executed, how milliseconds could mean millions, and how much human error still lived inside systems that claimed to be perfect. Next came Bloomberg Tradebook, a giant in the financial world. Here, he wrote trading software used by top-tier banks and investors. He was inside the engine room of global finance, seeing how the machine actually worked. But instead of being impressed, he was frustrated. The inefficiencies were everywhere. Slow settlement times, intermediaries taking cuts, outdated technology running trillion-dollar markets. It felt like the entire financial system was stitched together with duct tape, and while others shrugged and accepted tradition, he didn't. He asked questions. He studied patterns. He watched how markets reacted to fear, to news, to liquidity, and to human mistakes. Every minute of every trading day became a lesson. He wasn't just learning how markets worked, he was learning how they should work. Still, he had no idea what was coming next. Because in 2013, while surrounded by the limitations of traditional finance, he discovered something that flipped his worldview upside down. A technology that didn't need permission, didn't rely on outdated systems, and promised a financial future built on transparency instead of legacy power. It was the moment that set everything in motion. Don't go anywhere. We've got the technology that would change not only CZ's life, but the entire crypto world forever, coming up. His obsession didn't start with excitement. It started with a shock so powerful it rewired his entire belief system overnight. In 2013, after years spent building trading systems and studying the flaws of traditional finance, CZ was introduced to something entirely different: Bitcoin. At first, it sounded strange. Money that wasn't controlled by banks, governments, or institutions he had spent years working alongside. But the more he studied it, the more it felt like someone had finally solved the problem he'd seen his whole career. A financial system built for the digital world, not the past. He didn't dip his toes in. He cannonballed straight into the deep end. As he dug through Bitcoin's white paper and talked with early adopters, something clicked. This wasn't a fad. This wasn't a speculative bubble. This was the technology he had been waiting for, the one that aligned with everything he knew about markets, code, and human behavior. And when he believes in something, he doesn't do it halfway. So he made a decision most people would call reckless, insane even. He sold his entire apartment, not part of it, not a loan against it, all of it, converted straight into Bitcoin. Most people invest a little. He risked everything. His friends told him he was insane. His family didn't understand. But to him, the future had never been clearer. If this technology worked, even partially, it would reshape finance forever. That all-in conviction led him to join blockchain.info, one of the earliest and most important platforms in the crypto ecosystem. There, he worked as head of development, building critical infrastructure at a time when most of the world had never even heard the word crypto. More importantly, he worked side by side with some of the biggest pioneers in the industry, people who were coding, dreaming, and arguing about the future of money. Inside those conversations, he saw what almost no one else could see: a future where exchanges, wallets, and blockchain networks weren't fringe experiments. They were the foundation of a new financial era. As he worked, an idea began forming in the back of his mind. Quietly at first, then louder. What if he built a platform that could trade crypto faster than anything that existed? What if he solved the problems he had seen in traditional finance and combined them with the unstoppable potential of blockchain? This wasn't just a project idea. It was destiny taking shape. And that risk, selling everything, diving into crypto, trusting the unproven, would turn into one of the fastest financial rises ever recorded. Make sure to watch all the way through, because just like the world at the time, you have no idea what CZ was about to build next. His rise didn't start with a plan to make millions. It started with a belief that the entire world was moving too slowly. By 2017, after years deep inside the crypto trenches, CZ was ready. He wasn't guessing. He wasn't hoping. He knew the world needed a faster, simpler, more reliable place to trade crypto. So he did the unthinkable. He launched Binance, a name that combined binary and finance, signaling a future built on code, not legacy systems. From day one, Binance wasn't just another exchange. He built it like a weapon. He engineered it to execute trades at unbelievable speed, with a clean interface that even beginners could understand. And then came the genius move that would define the entire ecosystem, the BNB token. BNB wasn't just a coin, it was a mechanism. Users who held BNB got discounts on trading fees. Traders loved it. ICO investors loved it. And within days, the token became the engine that powered Binance's growth. When Binance held its initial coin offering, the response was explosive. Millions poured in. The crypto world had never seen an exchange raise that much trust, that fast. And then the wildfire began. Within 8 months, Binance wasn't just growing, it was dominating. It became the largest crypto exchange by trade and volume in the world, steamrolling past giants like Coinbase, Kraken, and Huobi. Users flocked to it because it was faster, simpler, cheaper, speed, simplicity, user trust. That's how he dominated the world. As trading surged, so did Binance's revenue. The numbers weren't climbing, they were detonating. Fees from millions of transactions poured in every single day. BNB's value skyrocketed as the exchange's influence grew, and almost suddenly, he transformed from an entrepreneur with a vision to a billionaire. Not in 10 years, not in 5. In a record-breaking sprint that stunned the financial world, but he wasn't done. He expanded at a pace no competitor could match, opening operations globally before regulators even knew what crypto exchanges were supposed to look like. While others moved cautiously, he moved relentlessly. Binance was everywhere: Asia, Europe, the Middle East, Africa, South America. If there was internet, Binance was coming. Competitors couldn't keep up. They followed rules. CZ rewrote them. They expanded carefully. He expanded fearlessly. And for a moment, it looked like nothing could stop him. But there was one force, even bigger than the crypto market. One challenge no speed or innovation could outrun. You'll want to know what this greatest threat to him was. Trust me, every empire faces its crisis moment. CZ's happened publicly and brutally. For years, he seemed unstoppable, riding the highs of crypto's explosive growth, expanding globally faster than any traditional financial institution could imagine. But when you build something that big, that fast, the world eventually pushes back. And for him, the pushback came in waves. It began with lawsuits from regulators, competitors, and governments trying to understand or control this new world of crypto he helped create. Some accused Binance of operating without proper licensing. Others went after its global structure, claiming it was too decentralized, too elusive, too hard to regulate. Suddenly, headlines turned from "Binance dominates the world" to "Is Binance too big too fast?" Then came the regulatory crackdowns. Country after country demanded compliance, documentation, transparency, and oversight. Binance was forced to exit markets, freeze services, and reorganize its global operations. Every week seemed to bring a new rule or restriction, and in the crypto world, where speed was everything, regulation felt like sandbags tied to the engine. And of course, there was FUD, fear, uncertainty, doubt. Critics called Binance unstable. Journalists predicted its collapse. Rival exchanges whispered that its volume wasn't real. Twitter exploded with rumors every time the market dipped. Being the biggest target meant being attacked from every side. Then crypto itself crashed, again and again. Bitcoin tanked, altcoins evaporated, billions vanished from the markets overnight. For most companies, a single crash would have been fatal. Binance survived 3 major collapses, each one a stress test that punished the platforms with weak foundations. But the pressure wasn't just external. Governments around the world intensified their focus on him personally. The bigger Binance became, the louder the calls grew for accountability. The global spotlight turned white hot, and eventually he made a decision no one expected. He stepped down as CEO. For many founders, that would have been the end of the story, the exit chapter, the fall. But he didn't see it that way. Stepping down wasn't surrender. It was strategy. It was a reset, a reconstruction phase. He shifted his focus to rebuilding trust, strengthening compliance, hiring regulatory experts, and creating a future where Binance could operate openly, transparently, and legally in every major market. He wasn't chasing hypergrowth anymore. He was building long-term stability, the foundation that would allow Binance to survive not just bull runs, but decades. And this is the part no one talks about, the reason CZ always comes out stronger. While others saw crisis, he saw transformation. While others panicked, he reinvented. While others quit, he evolved. His legacy isn't just the rise or the riches or the fame, it's the resilience, the ability to get hit harder than almost anyone in crypto and still remain standing. We will now reveal the reason he always comes out stronger, and it might just surprise you. His greatest lesson didn't come from money, success, or fame. It came from one rule that quietly built his entire empire. CZ calls it his secret rule: build platforms, not products. And this single idea became the foundation of his entire rise. Most people think wealth comes from selling something, an app, a service, a product. But he saw things differently. From his years in finance and his early days studying software systems, he realized something most entrepreneurs never figure out. Products make money once. Platforms make money forever. A product is used, sold, replaced. A platform becomes a world that people return to over and over again because they need it. So when he created Binance, he didn't just launch an exchange. He built a platform, a foundation that could hold thousands of products, services, and innovations, something people would rely on daily, something that could grow beyond him, beyond crypto, beyond any single moment in time. And this is why Binance didn't stay just a trading platform. It expanded into an ecosystem, a self-reinforcing network where each piece made every other piece stronger. Binance Exchange was the beating heart where millions trade every second. BNB was not just a token, but the fuel that powers the entire system. Binance Smart Chain was a blockchain built for speed, developers, and global adoption. Launchpad was a platform where new crypto projects are born and funded. Wallets give users control of their assets and identity. Payments allow crypto to be used in the real world. Partnerships span finance, gaming, payments, infrastructure, and global tech. Each part supported the others. Each part kept users inside the ecosystem, and each part generated wealth, not once, but continuously. This is exponential thinking. This is how network effects compound. This is how platforms become empires. He knew something most entrepreneurs ignore. If you build a system that people depend on, you win the long game. That's why Binance wasn't designed to make a quick profit. It was designed to become indispensable. Users depend on it. Developers depend on it. Projects depend on it. The entire crypto industry, in some way, orbits around it. And that's the difference between a millionaire and the kind of wealth CZ built. Because at the end of the day, This was the mindset shift that took him from flipping burgers at McDonald's to coding at night in a gas station to becoming one of the fastest billionaires the world has ever seen. Not by building a product, but by building a platform that became bigger than the man who created it. CZ didn't grow up rich. He had no connections and no safety net, but he built a platform through grit, courage, and an unshakable vision of the future. If you're ready to build your own platform, check out the links in the description and start today.